Yes, because they vibrated. They vibrated, right? And we had straps, the straps with it, and we'd have to, once we got them stacked up on the stage, we had to strap the damn things down because they'd walk all over the place,
Well, I did MSZ, Madison Square with the doobies, and they would turn it up, and if you take 120 hertz and don't dip it on your third octave, all of a sudden it'd be buzz central.
Buzz.
Wow. It's hard to believe. I got to tell you something. You really surprised me, Greg. Knowing that kind of information and you're only an A4, I don't believe it. I mean, really, that is something that.
Lose an A1 every once in a while,
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's when tours used to be a front of house guy and a systems engineer, and everybody else was local people. Now the rig travels with like 10 guys.
Yeah.
You need a comm guy, you need an RF guy, you need a networking guy, you need a front of house assistant, you need a monitor engineer, you need a systems engineer. I mean, it amazes me. I would love to tour now with the amount of guys they put on a tour. My life would be much easier.
Yeah. I also think you need a guy to carry your white gloves, Bruce. That's it. I got to get a guy with a suitcase carrying my white gloves for me. I refuse. If I'm going to be working, I want someone to carry those white gloves for me. Right, Fred?
Oh, too funny. Hi, David.
Bruce, that's the reason why I got in jail yesterday for poking a big A1 bear,
We're in jail where? Where were you in jail?
He wasn't in jail. He just thought he was in jail.
I was in Facebook jail for a whole freaking week. They throw me in jail all the time because they always say shit they don't like. But
a week, I made it for a month. And by the way, we're back on Facebook right now, so I have to say something. Really quick. Our biggest fan is watching today live from Thailand. That's if she's awake. If she's not, hello, Bo. How you doing?
She's there. Oh, she needs to get up on screen so we can say hi.
Well, she won't come online for sure. That'll never happen. But
anyway,
David, she'll never come online. But I wanted to know that I'm thinking about her and I miss her.
Welcome.
Hey, Bo, we all love you. You need to poke your head in here and say hello.
Yeah. The interesting thing is I start talking about her and the next thing I know, tears start going down my eyes. It's like, I was saying to somebody today in a meeting and I said, well, I can't wait to go home. And they said, well, don't you live here? And I said, well, my house is here. My office is here, but my home is where Bo is, and I want to go home. So
Mr. Dansky, are you out on a cruise ship still? Is that where did you go? He was here a minute ago. Oh, maybe my line got big.
No, he's there. He's hidden. He's hidden.
Are you on a cruise ship? I can't tell.
Looks like he's on a bus.
It looks like he's on a bus going around a glacier or something.
But he's muted, so I can't hear him.
Well, at least there's some.
It does. He is on a bus, isn't he?
Well, you guys can't see it. I wonder if I could pin him so you could see him on the bus. Yeah, he's definitely on a bus. Let's pin him on there so you guys could see him.
Yeah, go ahead.
There he is. Hello, and there's Myrna with him, and there he is. Hi, David. Say hi to all the people. We're back on Facebook.
You know what? He doesn't have earplugs in or something. Earbuds.
That's right. He probably can't hear it.
He probably can't hear us.
Now let's see if I can figure out how to remove the pin. There you go. Remove the pin. Oh, by the way, let me just say, hey, welcome to the 115th meeting of the Mastermind Roundtable. And my name is Jan Landy. I might be your host. I might not. But just remember, everything you hear is an opinion. So enjoy yourself. Come on in. Join the show. We're here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And, we talk about current events and how it affects us as people. So please feel free to join us and join the conversation. Right now, we're talking about something I don't even know what we're talking about. Bus rides and train tracks and, humping. I don't know,
Old sound companies.
Yeah.
Yep, old sound companies and new sound companies, because I hear a rumor that Kurt may be using a gamble with some Myers soon. I don't know.
I think it already happened. I don't think it's soon. I think it already happened.
Well, yeah, I'm planning to use it for a corporate I'm doing here next week.
Well, it's no gamble when you use a gamble. That's all I could say. That's it,
No, I kept them out of the festivals because it's just too dirty. You should have seen my car. It was unbelievable.
Oh, we saw your car.
We
After
saw your
200
fence. I couldn't believe what happened to your fence. Now, did they try to steal the fence too?
No, there's these guys, this whole gang of young kids that have their little lowered Miatas and stuff, and they do all the street racing in the warehouse district down there. That was a high-speed chase. The guy was flying down the street and hit a pothole, and his 17-year-old kid in a Miata went airborne and crashed into the fence and destroyed the whole thing. They weren't trying to steal the truck at all.
Oh,
They crashed into the fence and destroyed it.
Wow.
when I was a kid, we called those
Totally
kids
crazy.
hooligans. That's it, hooligans. I tell you, you kids, get off my lawn. You know.
Get off my fence. Yeah,
You
so I
sound
thought they were
New
trying to
York,
steal the truck.
man. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'm going to use Gamble with, I use Panther all month on all these festivals. It blew everybody away. It's stunning. It's unbelievable. It's like nothing I've ever heard before. And I've been a Meyer guy for 30 years. So it was amazing.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff, Kurt. Really, seriously.
It's like nothing I've
you know,
ever heard before.
props.
It's amazing. It's hard to describe. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's so detailed and clear and clean that it's like there isn't a PA at all. There's just music happening in the venue.
You know, you end up mixing louder when it's so damn clean.
No, actually, everybody saw the 10 Easy rig that I had there, not really because I had dB limits, but just as a reference. And it sounds 5 dB louder than it meters.
Really?
And no explanation that I can come up with why that is, but
Because usually when it's really clean, it doesn't sound as loud until you talk to somebody and then you realize it's loud as shit. But
Well, yeah, I would agree, but I don't know why. It's very in your face. It doesn't sound like the PA's 80, 90 feet away. It sounds like it's 10 feet away.
wow.
But, you know,
Answers are
it's an
totally
interesting thing that I had to talk. I had a conversation with John Meyer quite a few years ago when he was developing this, and his whole thing to me was all about articulation. He wanted to be able to create. He was explaining to me that the human beings here in the mid-range. And as you get older, the mid-range seems to disappear from your ear. That's why when you're in a club and you can't really hear the person next to you because the mid-range is drowning out their voice because their voice is in the mid-range. And he was saying to me that his goal was to create a system so that it could be loud enough that you, even though it was loud and it produced all of the fullness that you wanted from a loud PA, but he wanted to create something so that no matter how loud it was, you could still talk to the person next to you and they would be able to hear what you said.
Well,
And
he's
so
pretty much done
maybe
it.
he's done it.
That's the response,
Yeah.
the experience. You can talk to the
But-
guy in front of house and you can hear what he's saying. So it's exactly that.
So they're self-powered boxes like all of Meyer's stuff, I would imagine, right?
Everything
Right.
Meyer self-powered.
And what kind of amperage draw do they pull?
I was doing 12 1100s, all the stage power consoles and 8 Panthers aside, and I never got over 25 to 27 amps per leg.
Wow, he's so amazing when it comes to grounding schemes and efficiency. It just blows me away that people have done crazy things with it. You know, I use the powered UPAs all the time for these little round corners and delays and and I've seen people plug them in the horrible spots and they just don't buzz ever.
No, well, we're at 208 everywhere, so I don't have any neutral in my PA.
Right. Oh, really?
There's no place for the noise to come in, and plus everybody's LED now on the lights, so it's really not.
Yeah, the
a problem
LEDs.
anymore anyway. We were
Yeah.
on generators the whole time, and
And
yeah,
you're on with the lighting system probably, right? Because you didn't used to
we
be
had
able to
separate,
do
we
that.
had separate Jennies, but still, yeah. I mean, most of the time it takes more energy to make your toast in the morning than it does to run that PA.
That's just so amazing. He's
You
so
literally
good at
run
that,
You
man.
literally run that rig off of 320 amp outlets in your house. I don't ever say that to anyone who's paying for generators, but you could.
Amen.
Well, you wouldn't want to,
amazing.
No, you wouldn't want to, but it
No.
would be possible.
Because I would tell you, the person who was in the house would not appreciate how loud it was in, how much music we were putting through that PA. But Wayne, I'm really surprised you didn't ask a question like that, and you left it up to Bruce to ask a technical question. Well, you're slipping, Wayne. You're slipping, I tell you. You're slipping.
He's not eating his cornflakes.
I personally don't see the Meyers all that often. I'm either running JBLs or L acoustics. And I've always been a JBL guy personally, but a lot of the people that I use when I'm traveling around have L acoustics, what are pretty amazing too. But I've always liked, I used to use the SMs and the JMs back in the old days when John Myers was at McCune, and I've always followed him and always really appreciated what a genius he is, but I don't get to use them very often. In fact,
they're incredible, Bruce. I tell you what, they are.
In September, I'm going to be at Brooklyn Community College for 2 weeks doing a big event there, and the system in the college is all Myers. So I'll get it's supposedly a pretty new college. So, I mean, a pretty new theater. So I don't have the specs on it yet, but
Robbie, leopard, or lion, one of the two, depending on the size of the place, both of which are outstandanding. But I mean, I own lion, and Panther is beyond lion, and lion's
no bull crap.
I mean, lion's great, but it's just another step.
So I want to say this, having, as I have sold so many different brands of speakers and amplifiers and you name it over the years, what I have found is that whatever brand that you're using, that is it's your PA. Somehow the special sauce that you've put into that PA makes your PA better than anyone else's PA in the world. And I can tell you, because what we do, how we tweak our amps, and we go in there and we do this and we do that. And, there's this thing called brand loyalty that people believe in really, really, to the point where they actually hear things that don't exist. But in this case, I would say that Meyer is the top of the line. There are three speaker brands that seem to be at top of the line. Meyer being one of them, D&B and L Acoustics. But right now, it's a flavor of the month, because it seems that right now, L Acoustics is selling more speakers than anyone else, followed by D&B and then followed by Meyer. But Meyer is a family-owned company. Myers is a mom and pop shop, and they do make a quality
You're so
project.
lucky, Jan, that Vince isn't in the room right now. That's all I'm saying.
Well, if you're talking about Vince Scully, he died.
No.
May he rest
Vince
in peace.
Adams. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you meant Vince Scully, and he couldn't be in the room. If he was in the room, we would be making news right now.
I think Adamson is family too, isn't it? Is Adamson family?
It was family. I don't know if it was. I mean, when you go up there, and Brock would be the one that you would be talking to, but it was very hard. I met Brock once. When I worked for A1 in the prehistoric days of our industry, we were going to look for a new PA system. We were using the JBL, and we were using the Myers, but in those days, the Meyer wasn't cutting it for the rock and roll industry, just because of, I hate to talk technical, but the floating crossover point, and you engineers, what I'm talking about, you understand. And those who don't.
Rankus had that issue too. We had floating crossover points on our first SR1s, and oh my God, they drove me crazy.
Yeah. And for those people that don't know what that is, you're probably asleep by now anyway.
The problem with that was not the design or the floating crossover. The problem is people tried to use too little PA. The idea of floating crossover was only there when you were going to blow up the driver. If you were getting the floating crossover on a regular level, you didn't have enough boxes. It's your fault, not Myers. Yeah,
but doing the thing with AV, you never have enough of anything, unfortunately. Well, we're always fighting that battle.
Well, me too, but...
So what we ended up doing is, JBL had a processor, before the Omni drives, and they gave us a bunch of their old processors when the Omni drives all came out, and I changed out. We had 24 SR1s, and I changed all the processors out because they were the old original Rankine processors, and we just put all the programs.
You're going way back now, Bruce.
Way back. Oh yeah, early '80s. Yeah. And they really sounded pretty good then. And I think Encore is still using those damn things.
Yeah, I don't know why people aren't using Voice of the Theater anymore. I think that's a good sounding box. Yeah. It was good enough for Jimi Hendrix. Come on.
Hey, they did Neil Diamond, so hey.
But basically, as far as it goes, there is a lot of choices right now. But the problem that you face when you're dealing with national acts and you're moving systems from point A to point B, and you're going into different venues, you can no longer afford to carry everything that you want to take with you. So you need to count on sub-renting or going into a venue and supplementing what they have. And the challenge with the off brands, and what I mean by, like, Adamson makes a great box. He's got that Kevlar horn, he's got, it's bulletproof. But the problem
sounds great, yeah.
There's not enough of them there. So that if you're on the road, and you need a partner, where are you going to go? I think it's the same thing with Macaulay. People love Macaulay. I mean, one of the engineers in the room was using Macaulay all the time on an act, but he couldn't get support from other. It wasn't big enough of a brand so that he could get support when he was traveling around the country. And so, I mean, that's what JBL cut their teeth on. And then EAW had, I think, if I remember correctly, EAW was the first ones to come across with the fact that every rack had to be uniformed, right? I think it was EAW.
And they had low mids. They were the first people with low mid cabinets. EAW was. So.
Well, for those of you who are still awake,
Mr. Landy, honestly, today you got cohesion out there, and it's pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm. Well, cohesion, that's a pretty big work there for A4. I tell you that right now. Cohesion, that's it. So anyway, I mentioned briefly that Vince Scully died. I don't mean to be laughing that Vince Scully died, but he did die, and Bill Russell died this week. And 11-time NBA champion. He was an amazing player,
And Nichelle.
From my
Nichelle
hometown.
Nichols. Nichelle Nichols passed away, but the one that affected me the most is Mo Austin. Mo Austin, who was the head of Warner Brothers Records for so many years when I was working there. Well, I wasn't working there, but I was working for the Bearsville Records, which was an accessory to them. I guess maybe that's not the right word, an affiliate to them or a brand label. And I got a chance to get to meet him and his sons. But he lived to a ripe old age of 95. So with that in mind, but nobody lives forever. That's the whole thing. And by the way, speaking of not living forever, I am trying to figure out a way how to beat the odds. That's it. Because I went to the doctor. I had gotten all my blood tests and all that done, and I went for a physical. And my doctor tells me that I am the healthiest person of my age group by far, by 10 years of any other patient that she has. So I want you to know that I might outlive every one of you guys in this room, and don't count on me to be at your funeral. That's all I could say. That's it. So,
you didn't tell her not to use a glove like you told all of us last night, right?
No, she doesn't wear a glove. That's it. No gloves allowed. But basically, except when we smell the glove, which is the catchphrase there from Spinal Tap. Smell the glove. That was their album, if I remember correctly. Bringing it back to the entertainment business. So, hey, Joe. Speaking of bringing it back to people dying, Joe Walsh is reuniting his the James Gang. Did you hear that? And he's going to do. Dave Grohl is coming on. Basically, 9 Inch Nail, Black Key, the Breeders to take part in this week. It's happening in Columbus, Ohio, on November 13th, and it's for raising money for the vets.
Hope they record it.
You know how much tickets are, Jan?
No, I do not. Do you?
Yeah, $1,100.
Oh my God!
But it is for a charity, It is for a good cause.
Yeah.
I hope they record it.
Yeah,
it should be really good.
They should be playing at the Agora,
Yeah, and another thing that's coming back is Farm Aid. Farm Aid's coming back. This time it's going to Raleigh, North Carolina, as basically Willie Nelson and family, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews, Tim Reynolds, Margaret Price, and more. That's going to be happening at the Winter Park, the Union Park at Walnut Creek in Raleigh on September 24th. And did you hear about what happened? I think it was in Atlanta, that there was this music festival that was going to take place, Mid-Motion Music Festival. I think I've got that right. And they canceled the promotion. They canceled the festival. It drew 50,000 people. They were expecting 50,000 people
festival.
A day.
Yeah.
What was that?
DJ festival. Yeah.
And it was going to draw 50,000 people. They'd already sold the tickets, I understand. And they canceled the concert because it was in a park, a public park, and they couldn't agree to get the guns because it is a public park. They said no guns allowed. And because it's a public park in Atlanta, they couldn't get to come to terms with the city because it's law that you can't deny people carrying guns in public. And because it was a public park, they had to cancel it because they felt that it was going to be just too many shootings. And I bet it comes down to they couldn't get insurance. I would bet that. Have you guys heard that?
Shootings.
No.
No?
What, Bruce?
I never heard anything about that.
Yeah. It was,
Didn't hear anything about it.
I grew up with a town where everybody had guns. Nobody ever got shot.
yeah, but I think if you go into a DJ festival, you know, I would think that the odds,
Maybe.
the odds increase. You know, I don't know why I think that, but you know, I just, you know,
You're probably right.
you know, I mean, if you, as you know, gangster rap, I think that, you know, you're gonna be pretty much assured that somebody, you know, somebody's going to hurt someone tonight. You know, the Eagles kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody's going
come
to
on,
hurt
Jen.
someone.
Kurt runs a reinforcement company. Do you take DJs, you know, up there in Seattle?
Well,
I don't think you do.
Oh yeah, we do. We do whatever they make us do. These festivals, this last one had all but one night DJ headliners. So we do it. It's not my favorite, but you know, as long as the check clears.
Is it like a rave? Are they raves?
No, but that's not really that much of a thing. At least not what we do. We will do concerts like at, you know, WAMU Theater or something like that. Some of these bigger buildings that are attached to the sports arenas and stuff. So we'll do some pretty big DJ acts. The festivals tend to be more EDM than what you're talking about, gangster rap kind of stuff. I avoid it when I can. The EDM stuff's all right. It's kind of hard on the gear sometimes, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about safety at that stuff. But some of the more straight rap shows sometimes can be a little interesting.
Because of the people or the what they're singing about?
Yes.
Good answer. Good answer. Non-committal. That's what I hear. Speaking of EDM, one of the main supplier of equipment for the EDM here in Las Vegas just walked into the room. But you know, he's probably eating right now because it's dinner time over there in Tennessee.
I haven't started eating yet. I still got to cook it. Let's get home from the grocery.
But I was wondering, I heard that somebody won the $1.34 billion jackpot, and I hadn't heard from you in a while, so I figured it might have been you, right?
You got to buy a ticket before you win.
Oh yeah, because I could tell you that if I won that ticket, you know, there is a really if you remember that TV show Reno 911? Anybody remember the show Reno 911?
Sure.
If you want to have a really good laugh, and I mean belly laugh, Google Reno 911 lottery winner. And I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but it is one of the funniest 5 minutes of TV that I have ever seen in my life. It is hilarious. Greg, you're shaking your head, yes?
I'm unmuting myself because I'm still on probation. But yeah, I've seen it. It is, oh my goodness, y'all need to watch it.
It's funny because it really captures what human nature would be if you became a millionaire and you hated the people you worked with. You know, it's funny. It's very, very funny. Hey, did you guys, speaking of YouTube, did you happen to see the Will Smith apologizing to Chris Rock? I mean, it is like pitiful. I guess the guy can't get any work now. I guess he's been blackballed from the industry. I just can't imagine. You know, the
You know what? I mean, it was a human thing. You know, I got to fall on his side. It was stupid. Yeah. I mean, it was an A4 move. It wasn't an A1 move. So I got to fall on his side. And yeah, he's in jail for quite some time. So.
Yeah. I mean, he was like the golden boy, him and Denzel Washington, you know, they couldn't do any wrong, you know?
Well, speaking of Hollywood, what is the reason they pulled the plug on Batgirl movie? Did you do something happened on that?
Yeah, he was a producer. I don't know exactly what happened, but
did you say Batgirl with a B or that girl with a T?
BAT.
Batgirl.
Yeah, didn't they produce the whole movie and then they decided to throw it in the can?
Yeah, they spent $100 million on it and they pulled the plug on it.
Unbelievable. I don't know why. I just heard about it.
Well, I guess I have my homework cut out for me unless Tina is quickly Googling everything, and so she can give us an answer. But other than that, you know. But no, I don't know why they did it. So you guys fly Southwest?
Occasionally.
Okay,
not,
just thought
not unless I have to.
Absolutely not.
Okay, what about JetBlue?
It depends if you have to go to Southwest cities.
Well, JetBlue is buying Spirit Airlines, $3.8 billion deal, and it'll create the country's 5th largest airline.
Did it go through?
It looks like it's going to go through because Spirit and Frontier didn't work out, you know?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So JetBlue, I mean, I think they're a good airline. I mean, they got pretty much together.
No, JetBlue is cool. You know, especially if you're going up to the Northeast corridor. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, or you're going from Las Vegas to New York. They have this thing called the Mint class. Pretty cool. I mean, it's like first class. It's not quite first class. You don't get, you don't get the kind of service that you would get, but the seats are bigger and it's a nicer plane and everything else like that. So if you get a chance to fly,
it's better than Delta One.
I could never figure out how Delta prices their seats. It makes no sense to me how it's so confusing about Delta Airlines and their nomenclature of buying a ticket there. Can anybody explain that to me?
Well, all I can say is I'm a former Northwest Airlines person, and I got a 1.7 million frequent flyer miles, and Delta doesn't degrade them like the way that American or Southwest or United do. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, just in, so you know, Southwest just announced this week, I read that they are now going on, there's going to be no more expiration dates on any of their credits that they give out.
Yes, they sent me a letter.
You know?
I heard about that.
Did you know that
Northwest go to Continental? I thought Northwest went to Continental. You said went to Delta?
No, I was Northwest. Northwest was bought out by Delta. Okay. Continental was bought out by United.
Oh, that's right. It's the United Continental. Gotcha.
Did you know that Alaska bought Virgin Air?
Yeah, I heard that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was on a flight.
Really?
I was on an Alaskan Airlines flight, and I was in first class, and I looked up to the galley, and there was the garbage cans, and they had Virgin Atlantic stickers on them. So when the person came back and asked me if I wanted a drink, I said, "So I see you got Virgin Atlantic garbage cans. Is that so you can throw all your junk into the Virgin Atlantic?" He says, "No, actually, those are there because we bought the airline a short time ago." And it's like anything else. All the stuff's all interchangeable, and we just happen to have those garbage cans. And I was like, "Oh!" And I was trying to make a funny, and you were dead serious.
Yeah, I would think that.
I didn't know that.
I would think their first class isn't that good if they have garbage cans in the cabin with you.
Well,
I mean-
underneath those things that roll out, and they lock, and the drape was open. You could see right in there.
The beverage cart, you mean?
Well, where the door goes into the pilot's area, off to the right is like the little galley right there, and all those things that slide out have different things in them. And the first two were they lock them into place. Those were garbage cans. So I don't know.
Well, I tell you, tune into this show and you are learning a lot. I tell you, I never knew that before. So we are
Listen,
learning.
we've
Because
gone
those are-
from from truck trains in Australia to garbage cans in the air in the United States.
You know why that
Greg,
is,
I
Jan?
tell you, I'm learning to live with my regrets. That's all I can say. I'm learning to live with them
You know why that is, Jan?
because I have so many of them.
No, the garbage cans. They put the garbage cans facing the pilots because they're only being held in by those clips. All the drinks and everything are across the way. So when they take off, all that weight's sitting against the wall. It's not having to be held in by that clip.
No, there you have it.
You know what? That makes total sense. And you're right. The drinks were on the other side. Yeah, that I couldn't see as well.
Hey,
Well-
Fred, I signed my NFL contract.
Nice.
He's starting as a wide receiver.
No. I'm starting as a parabolic acoustic acquisition engineer. That's exactly was on my contract.
Well,
Fred.
isn't
Well,
that
I
a
got-
wide receiver? Don't you have a wide receiver that you're running around with?
I got my email today. My first game is in Iowa. It's Dakota State at Iowa. Second week is Georgia Southern at Nebraska, and third week is Fresno State at USC.
Hey, Greg, I think that makes you a mic stand.
Yeah, I was going to say.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Are you an adjustable mic stand?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm the guy with the 40-pound pack. With with the guy. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You're right, Kurt.
I think that's A5 category you're in right now. The A4, you just went down.
hey,
You just went down a
wait.
number.
Wait a minute. Now I just got in jail yesterday. I'm not going to say a word, Jay.
That was a self-imposed jail. You put yourself.
Yeah.
I missed all that. What did you do to get yourself in trouble?
Oh, you don't
Kurt,
wanna know, really,
it
you
was
don't
the
wanna
back
know.
Lounge. It was the back lounge. Morton wasn't there, so somebody had to step up.
Let's put it this way.
No. I told everybody what it was before you got there. It was because Greg got all the live albums from Jan a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Actually, Robert got all the live albums, and last week Greg said,
He
something
wants the
about-
tour jackets.
he wants the-
Yeah.
Yeah, I want all your tour jackets. No, that's a serious request, Jen.
I should go look and see where I have them hidden, and I tell you what, tune in next week, folks, and I will have what's left of the tour jackets.
What is the update
Okay.
on the house? So you let go last night that now you're not selling that house. You've been
Well,
selling the
let's
house
put
all
it,
the way up until yesterday.
let's put it this way. Now, remember everything's an opinion here on this show. But when I came here, I came with the intention of selling the house. That's it. Everybody's talking, you put the house on the market, man, it disappears. You're making top dollar. Let's do it. So I said, hey, I want in on that. Because I figure like this, that the house market is not going to stay that high for that long. And then you cash out at the top, you wait a little while, and then you buy another house. And, you've made a little bit of money. That's my thought process. But of course, my home is in Thailand right now, wherever Bo is. And of course, I can't get her into America. So we have to figure that out as we go. But I told the real estate agent, I said, what do you think it's worth? And he gave me a number. I said, all right, I want to get back to Thailand as quick as possible. So let's make this happen. He says, this is going to sell in a week at this price, and it didn't sell in a week. Not only did it not sell, we had only 2 or 3 calls. Then what happened is that I said to him after 2 weeks, I said, listen, I need to get back to Thailand. I want to sell this house. I need you to do the research, and whatever you come up with, I'm going to say, let's go with it, because I want to sell the house right now. So go do your research, come up with a number that's going to work, and we will sell the house. And the number he came up with was $40,000 less than what the original price was. And I said, let's do it. Let's cut the price. Let's do it. 2 people have called, and I am furious over that. And then he did something even worse, is he pulled the listing from the MLS. For whatever reason, he pulled the listing from the MLS. And let me tell you what happens when you pull a listing, because I didn't know this before, but I know it now. Every real estate agent in the world that has access to the MLS gets notified that there's a house that didn't sell and the listing is available. And my phone started ringing, text messages, carrier pigeons, you name it. They were coming in, people with placards walking by my place. It was crazy how many people wanted to list my house. And they all had the same comment to me. You want to sell your house? I'm the one to do it. And so I started saying, well, if you're that sure you can sell, do you have a buyer? Oh, no, we just want to list it. I said, well, I'm not looking for somebody to list it. I'm looking for somebody to sell it. I don't want to. But these guys, this is what I would call the shaking of the tree right now. So all these people that were making a living selling houses because all they had to do was get it on the market and they had a buyer, now it's not so much. So now you really have to go back to knowing what you're doing, and that'll clear out a lot of real estate agents. So that's what happened. But in the meantime, my office building is up for sale, and it looks like that's going through. So if you've ever moved, has anybody in this room ever moved?
Yeah.
So
Long time ago.
just
Hated,
moving,
absolutely
if
hated.
you were moving to the apartment next door, the stress level of moving is high. But just imagine if you're moving, 20 years of your belongings and you have no place to move it. And then you've got to sell this stuff. And then you find out that there is no value to anything that you thought was a treasure, because so many companies have gone out of business and so many people have sold everything that they've got, that your stuff, you're going to have to pay somebody to take the stuff that you paid a fortune for to the dump. It's crazy.
Well, Jan, the one thing I can say is, yes, as a person moving to Asok in Bangkok, I agree with you. After your soliloquy, Fred was just bringing it real, dude. And so yeah, we hear you. And if you want to let go of some stuff, that's fine. If you don't, that's cool too.
Well, things have changed, but I realize now that I've got too many possessions, that I've been pack ratting, and it's time to get out of that, the Collier's Mansion mentality and start getting rid of stuff that I'm not going to use. I was gone a year, and so there was nothing that I missed. Nothing. There was not one thing that I missed that I said, oh man, I wish I had that here, except for the popcorn maker. That I did wish.
So, Jan, I know
Hi,
somebody
Robert.
in that boat, and what they did was they had an estate sale, even though they were still alive.
Well, that's what he tried to do with a couple of women a few weeks ago, and they didn't do him well.
No, they came over and they were with a charity and they just wanted donations, and that was another thing that this real estate agent turned me on to. So far he's batting a complete zero, and it would be like, hey, you're out of here, So
yep, Robert, that's how I got in the Scoville jail yesterday, by swimming up. So all I'm saying, hey, I'm there to help, and
well,
I'll be in Ahsoka in January. So see ya.
Well, I got some good news for you, Greg, because if you're in pain right now, there's a team of researchers at Northwestern University that has developed a small, flexible, dissolvable implant that relieves pain on demand without the use of drugs. I know you're going to hate to give up the drugs, the ibuprofen or whatever it is, but medical experts say it's the first of its kind device and can improve a much needed alternative to opioids. The device is a thickness of a sheet of paper. It's soft and elastic, and it works by wrapping around the nerves to block the pain signals to the brain. An external pump enables the user to remotely activate the device, and then it increases or decreases in intensity. And after the device is no longer needed, it naturally absorbs into the body. It's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's, that could be an amazing system, because I know when I had my back problem and I was in super pain, I would have loved to have something like that, but I would have turned it up to 10 immediately, up to 10.
This is something that's implanted after a surgery.
I guess they would have to plan it after the surgery. Otherwise, it would go up a different way. There's only two other orifices that it could go through to get there. So I would think it would be surgery. Yes, I would say that they have to create an opening.
So where's your spot, Jan? Phuket, Sansui, or Bangkok?
We're living in Phuket in a little town called Rawai, which is amazing. Right. We have chickens and ducks and geese and antelope and buffalo and ponies and horses and pheasants and, lizards. It's really cool living there. I mean, I really love it. But my spot is, home is where the heart is what they say. So wherever we go, we're going to go, and I'll be at home as long as I'm with her. Spoken like a true romantic at this point in time. So I hope you enjoyed that recital that I've been practicing. That's it. So.
Speaking of true romantics, has anyone seen Ken Newman? Is he out on tour right now?
No, the last I saw, he just came off a bike ride. Him and his girlfriend went on I think it was a 2-week bike ride, and now he's back. And I think he's doing some work with Manilow now. So getting ready to go back out on the road.
Manilow had a tour running out for the first 2 weeks of August.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Need a bit from the road from him. We need an update.
Well, I tried to call him today, but he wasn't answering his phone. But
is he
listen,
above and beyond his abilities?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's looking. Maybe he might have applied for that job with the hotelier. Did you hear about this job? It's Tells.com. They're looking to hire a retro beach motelier who will visit several retro beach motels across the United States and enjoy their service, and it pays big money. So that job is open right now. So maybe he's out applying for that job. I don't know, but it sounds like a great job.
$1.2 million. Yeah.
Yeah, just going from hotel to hotel, checking it out, and just seeing how it fits into your thought process. Oh, this is a relaxing hotel, or motel actually. So any beer drinkers in the crowd? Okay, any beer drinkers? No beer drinkers? Well, then this story is not gonna interest you at all. Then too bad. That's it. But they just did a survey, and I don't know who did the survey. It could have been a bunch of winos, but whatever it is, we do have a link to it. But men and women have different choices in beer. So the number one beer for men is Guinness, followed by Sam Adams, Corona, Heineken, and Budweiser. And yet women, well, they still like Guinness. Evidently, that's number one. But instead of Sam Adams is number 2, it's Heineken. Corona matches up at 3. Budweiser comes in at 4, and Blue Moon comes in at 5. And those are the most popular beers right now in America, according to, I don't know, according to who. But it's something I read, and I thought I'd share.
The question is that if you're in the South, it's Bud Light is the first one. All the rednecks, it's Bud Light.
Yeah, damn IPAs.
Bud Light mixed with Mountain Dew.
That's moonshine mixed with Mountain Dew.
Yeah, white lightning, baby, white lightning. I've had some of that stuff, man. That really makes, see, my hair is curly. It was from that day that I had the white lightning. I used to be straight, and now it's curly. So what else is going on, guys? Did you hear about this guy in Australia? He was flying and he got fined 1,874 Australian dollars. So this is for you, Wayne. This story. Did you hear about? Did this make the news? That they have a new system, a biometric sniffing system at the airport, and somehow he had 2 McDonald McMuffins in his luggage. And it's illegal to bring food into Australia because of the foot and mouth disease or hoof and mouth disease that they have. And this guy was fined, almost 2,000 Australian dollars for forgetting that he had McMuffins in his luggage. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that one.
It didn't make the news. Well, CNN is reporting it. That's got to be reliable.
Yeah, probably didn't, but I didn't see it. Now.
Yeah. So. Anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to point out, we were talking about the houses and everything else like that, but this number is staggering, and maybe you guys have something to say about that. That right now, U.S. household debt has surpassed $16 trillion. That's with a T. $16 trillion U.S. household debt. For the first time in history during the second quarter of 2022. The Federal Reserve says credit card debt is skyrocketing as people try to keep up with inflation and higher costs of living. I wonder how that's going to affect everybody.
Well, I tell you, that's true. I just paid off my house. A4s make much more money than A1s. And yeah, I'm getting ready to go to Bangkok. So
now, are you retiring? Are you retiring?
Yes, sir.
And so you're not gonna be doing any more sound work?
Only in the Himalayas and in Thailand. Yeah.
Now, what about the NFL contract you just got?
Oh, no. I'm working through that through February, and then it's salute. See ya.
So here's my question to you. If you are moving to Thailand, why would you be buying anything right now at all how are you going to get it to Thailand? And why would you do that?
No, excuse me. If you look at the latest rules that came out from the kingdom, I can get 1,600 square meters for a RAI. Okay, I can buy land in Thailand. I decided to go ahead and buy my land and in a condo in Osok. Soy 11.
So we can actually buy land there?
Yes, sir. Yeah, but it's going to cost you, besides the purchase price, it's going to cost you $40,000 on top of it.
USK or Thai K?
USK.
Okay.
Is that the bend over fee since you're not a citizen?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And you get a 10-year visa. So,
could you explain to me, because this is where I get confused. All right. I'm living right now in a 2-bedroom house on a 20-acre estate that is paradise for me, $1,000 a month. Why would I want to buy a piece of land and property when there's no way that that's going to cost me less than what I'm passively paying in rent? Is there something I'm missing?
Yes, because that property value is going to go up significantly because they opened up this and all the Chinese are coming in big time. So, yeah.
There too, huh?
Yeah. Jump in, Jan.
It's always better to own, Jan. Renting doesn't do anything for you. It's just money going out the door.
Well, there you have it, folks. We've learned something new. today.
But what about tax stuff though? Living over there, I mean, your whole tax structure.
No, I still got to pay U.S. taxes, and I still got to pay Thai taxes. Yep, and
On your income, both.
Yep. Well, I ain't making income, you know.
No.
I'm living off my expenses, you know. Yeah, I saved up for decades for this. And
Wow, good for you.
well,
That's great.
I don't know. You know, I'll probably be put in Scoville jail again. You know, I don't care.
Why does he want to go there too? And you're taking his place? Is that what it is?
Well, you started this.
Oh, I started it. That's right. And I'm going to finish it right now. Okay. So just so you know right now, I mean, for those people who are listening in and saying, what's the fascination about Thailand? You know, I mean, other than getting foot massages for $3 a piece, you know, what could you possibly get? But the dollar is so strong. Today, I was able to get now, if you think about it as dollar to dollar and not dollar to US, what's the US dollar worth? Because when you're in a country, the dollar value that is of the dollar value of that country is equivalent to the same dollar value of any country that you're in. As long as you're not buying imported material, the price is more or less the same as if it is. So if you're spending, you know, $100 here, 100 baht might be very similar to that, but it's, in this case, I realize I don't know what I'm talking about. So
what's the exchange rate?
Yeah, well, it is. But anyway, so I got 35 or 36.20 today. 36.20, I think, is what I got. You know, and that's amazing. I mean, that's amazing because when you think about it,
on the street, you can get 52 to 1, Jan.
So $1 is 52 baht.
I would find that hard to believe because people go by super cheap, and super cheap is, if you look up at super cheap, that is the Bible of everyone else. But I think you're thinking of the Philippines right now, not Thailand. You can't get 52 to 1.
It's 50 to 1 in the Philippines, right?
Something like that. 56
so, yeah,
to 1.
Close, yeah.
Yeah, but Thailand is the actual.
Yeah. I apologize. You're right.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
you know, like I said, everything.
I mean, Manila is my stopover point.
Everything here is
Florida.
an opinion, so don't worry about a thing. Nobody really cares. I mean, really, seriously.
Nobody.
I think anybody's listening to us and saying, "Man,
we're all curious."
I'm going to build my career on what the advice I'm getting from these guys." Are you joking? You know, that's it. So you can never get, the thing is you can never get the rate that they say that they're going to give you. You know, when you go to XE or Wise or whatever, you know, whatever the rate is, the only way you would get that rate is if you're a bank. But
still, stuff is a lot cheaper there than it is here, right?
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything that has to,
your
anything
money
that
goes a lot
requires
further.
human labor is much cheaper.
Anyone bought anything out of Europe lately? The euro is 1-to-1 last week.
Wow.
Well, the euro right now is 98 cents. So for every dollar, you're only getting 98 cents of theirs. So the euro has gotten a little stronger.
Yeah, you know? But the euro used to be 265 to 1.
Yeah, and the pound was even greater. But right now, the Filipino peso is 55.71 to 1. So, I mean, I always thought that the best thing to do is trade in money because, you know, normally what you're doing is you're exchanging a service for money. But it would seem to me that the best way to make money is exchanging money for money, you know? That way, what service do you really need if you got money, you know? You buy all the services you want. That's it, you know? So, anybody have anything that they want to say that I haven't monopolized the conversation with?
All I'm saying is that I apologize. You know, I just realized that this was public.
You stop apologizing.
Well, listen, when you started spouting off the bad information, we were already 55 minutes into it, and only a diehard fan would be listening for 55 minutes and paying attention. By now, you're listening to it. It's in the background. You're cooking dinner. You're having a shower, whatever it is. You're walking your dog. And you're not paying any attention to us whatsoever.
I think we lost Mr. Dansky, didn't we? Yeah.
Well, he's traveling. He's traveling through Australia or Alaska or something. Well,
Alaska, I think, yeah.
And I hope by next week I'll have a haircut. I think I'm going to hear from Bo immediately upon the first thing she's going to say is get a haircut. That's it. So I apologize for my hair.
Does she come into the Zoom with us?
Nah, she won't. She won't come into the Zoom. I've asked her many times that she wants to come in and say hello. And when I'm back in Thailand, she'll come in and wave, and she'll say hi to everybody. Whenever that might be. But it's cool. So Ken, what's new in your world? What's going on that what's in Nashville that we should all know about?
Just got back from about 12 days not doing shows and stuff like that, and then trying to sort everything to turn around and flip stuff around. We got stuff Monday turned around, and then tomorrow we start loading in for the Music City Grand Prix, the Formula One race, the IndyCar race in Nashville. So it's kind of just all been crazy here, just trying to keep. There's not much stuff left in the warehouse. I see a lot of concrete floor.
That's wonderful. That means you're making money.
Yeah, they said, are you ready to go sweep the floor? Since I can sweep the floor now with all the stuff gone. So yeah.
So are you doing it? Are you doing it all Dante, Ken? Or
I got a lot of Dante says, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Dante work stuff there, and then inputs and everything else, all whatever manufacturer.
That's how we did the St. Petersburg Grand Prix. It was, 4 miles of Dante. It was nuts.
Well, I'm not doing the racing there. I'm doing it all shows. There's 3 stages plus the winner's circle stage 2.
Whoa. Props.
So, yeah, we got Tim McGraw playing Saturday night after the practice or qualifying and stuff every night type stuff going on.
That's really cool. Now, are you still making cases?
Yeah, but mostly for me and custom for sales stuff that we're doing, not for just all out sell. I'm doing more, trying to gear more toward packaging more than just building cases, like package the whole thing and package, lights, power, whatever you need in it, to kind of organize it better.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Graham Holmes doing a lot of that stuff, Ken?
Who?
Graham Holmes? Yeah, he's oh gosh, he's an old IES guy, but he's with what's his name? Yeah, big Nashville star. That's all I know, and he does her cases. So, have you run across him?
I don't know what the case company is. There's Alcorn Case, there's Space Case, there's Nashville Custom Case, there's
JNL Case, because Muffy has been on this panel, so we could say JNL. I mean, that's it. Is there Anvil? Is Anvil still a case company?
I think they've been doing a lot of corporate stuff, not really pay attention to the live entertainment. I was running names of people in Nashville.
Oh,
case companies.
Yeah, I mean,
Case and Circle 3 and stuff like that, all kind of running out of here.
Wow, that's a lot of case companies for Nashville.
We're the center of the world in production services.
Yep.
It all seems to revolve around us here.
Well, I would thought Las Vegas was that. And the people I know in New York think it's New York. And everybody in California thinks it's California. I like having an opinion like that, It's like, who knows, Is there really an organization that's tracking this, or is it just a belief system?
Well, the easy way to track it is how many large frame consoles are in this town? start
Is that a
adding up,
trick question?
well, if you start adding up, is there
A
there's
boatload.
there's probably over 350 to 400 large frame consoles and people that use them, bigger than the 48 inputs.
Mm.
How many are in LA? How many are in Vegas? That's just.
Well, I lost count. But it would be a good thing to know. I mean, it would be a good thing to know who's got what where, and then that would make a really good opportunity. And at one point I wanted to do something with SoundBroker regarding that and doing rentals, so that when you go from state to state or city to city, that you don't want to carry your stuff and you want to do sub rentals. I thought that would be a great idea, but I guess it's a little more difficult to find out than that. But I think you're onto something, Ken. I think you're onto something.
Well, part of the problem is that if you picking up consoles not the same, you have some that, like in Digico, they're X. If you have waves and don't have waves, if you have, different things that don't match up, in how it's set up. So it's really hard to do fly date pickups there if you set up your tour around stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would agree with you. It's like, it would be like renting in-ear monitors in each city. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, Ken, I would just agree with you to a point, sir. I know personally of 29 Avid S6Ls that are based out of Nashville. They're the epicenter. I don't know how they got there. And, whoever pulled whatever strings, but yeah, if you want one, they're there. So.
Yep.
Well, right now, there's just not enough to go around, because I'm getting calls from so many different companies looking for large frame consoles. So to buy, but there's just not enough around. So it's a good thing, but that's going to change sooner or later. I mean, the supply chain issues are going to start to mitigate, and things are going to get better for all of us. And, things are going to happen. I mean, I think that we're on a very positive, very, very positive, trajectory to get to where we want to go, which is, be safe, secure, and wealthy. So I wish all of us in the room that good luck and good fortune. And I hope you all find what I have found, and more some. And that's it, because you guys deserve it. Anyway, before we say goodbye to all those people that are listening to us on social media that wish they had better lives to do something else other than listen to this, what do you guys have to say? Anybody? This is it. This is your opportunity right now to say something that will be embedded in history forever.
Chef Kurt owns the market on Gamble consoles. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. Hey, and by the way, I called Waves today, but I couldn't get anybody there. Tomorrow I will call again, just to keep rocking their cage. But it seems crazy that they can't deliver any extreme service. It's just nuts.
One day my waves will come in.
One day your wave will come in, that's for sure. But I will let you know in advance.
You know what I wanted to tell you guys? And not like it matters. I have two SoundWeb 9088 IIs that I haven't used since digital consoles started doing their thing. I built them to be like for the smaller consoles that didn't have a lot of matrix outputs, so that I could do system, EQ and all that kind of stuff. So they've been sitting in my rolling rack forever. So if anybody needs, one's got a patch bay and the other one's got a snake, and there's a graphic BSS graphic EQ in the rack too. If anybody needs something like that, for their church or for their whatever the hell. I mean, I don't even have the computer that drove it anymore. I'm not even sure you can find the program, because now they're London's, but I got them. So if anybody needs them or wants them, let me know.
Well, the following was a paid political announcement. And like I said, not the past, but the following is a paid political announcement. And that is, there's a company called SoundBroker.com. And I think I know somebody over there that might be able to help you move that stuff, but I'm not really 100% sure.
Maybe I should take pictures of the stuff and write down what it is and send that information to you, right?
Let me give you the address. It's shipping@soundbroker.com, and Tina will definitely help you. Right, Tina?
I didn't hear a word. It was coming out your mouth.
Yeah, there it is. There you have it. All right. So we're going to say goodbye to everybody now.
Tina at SoundBroker.com.
Yeah. She refused. She refuses. I tell you, she refuses. Anyway, listen, we really appreciate everybody on social media that's been listening in. It's good to be out of Facebook jail. I believe that's where it is. And if it's not, I'm sure some of the posts that I have from 2 years ago, I'm not going through my Facebook to start removing stuff from 2-3 years ago. So if they find me and they put me in jail again, so be it. That's where it is. That's where it's at. But we'll be on other fine hosting websites such as LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and SoundBroker.com and all of those other good things. So anyway, listen, thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna say goodbye to you on social media, but we're gonna stay in the room just like we do early, and we stay late, and we talk about things that we can't talk on the air because of something like statute of limitations. I don't know, but so that's where it's at. So come and join us. And so with that, remember, you make it happen, and remember, everything you heard today is an opinion. So do your own research. And thanks for watching. See you again next week, same time, same place, Wednesday.